The same thing. They're stonewalling. The truth can't be stopped. We know he's an Indonesian citizen. We know his real name's Barry-Soetoro. That's enough right there under law because he can't be a natural. Explain that to people, Phil.
Well, once he's adopted there, he becomes a natural of Indonesia. And therefore, when he came back, according to our immigration laws, he would only become naturalized. But someone did what's called a FOIA request, Freedom of Information request, sent me a copy. They asked for a copy of Obama's birth certificate. It came back that he never had one. Now, they didn't check for Barry-Soetoro, but I think he never had one. I think he traveled on his Indonesia passport. That's why at age 20, he stopped in Indonesia on his way to Pakistan to renew his passport.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear on this. His real name's Barry-Soetoro on record. Coming up, we've got him calling into a radio show in D.C., calling himself Barry. That's coming up. His name is Barry-Soetoro. Folks, do you realize they're freezing all his documents, all his records? They're covering something up that's even worse than him really being an Indonesian citizen. We have an Indonesian citizen as our president, and even if he had been a U.S. citizen before, he'd have to waive that citizenship to become a citizen of Indonesia. I mean, if I wanted to go waive my citizenship and become a Swiss citizen, I would have to waive my U.S. citizenship. The father of the birther movement, attorney Phil-berg, ObamaCrimes.com, with us, former Deputy Attorney General in his state, member of the NAACP, Democrat, who, during the primaries, began to investigate Obama. Because it's on record, his real name's Barry-Soetoro, a citizen of Indonesia. That's the only record we can get. He admits that, but says it's no big deal. And the media never covers that. They just say, we've shown the birth certificate, these people are lying. Why has Obama sealed all of his school records? Because the real name's Barry-Soetoro, and a lot of people are coming forward saying he was called Barry-Soetoro then, and that he was getting foreign aid. Now, we're going to go back to your calls, David, John, Nick, Ronald, and others. Questions for Phil-berg only on the subject of the birther issue and where his court cases are going. But here's the associated... Phil, go ahead. I was going to...
Yeah, no, that's right. I just want to say something because many people say, well, a parent can't renounce, give up their children's rights. Well, that's true to a point. But if Obama wanted to do that between the ages of 18 and 21, he would have had to renounce his Indonesia citizenship and reaffirm any citizenship that he did have for the United States. There's no evidence he did that either.
He sealed all those records, the college, everything. Let's play this clip. Just like everybody else, Barry from D.C. called Virginia Governor Tim Kaine's radio show to complain about traffic. But Barry from D.C. was really President Barack Obama, who surprised Kaine with a prank call just like everybody else. Barry from D.C. Now, here is Obama, and this is Associated Press, a couple months ago. This was December 22nd, 2009, last year, calling in using his real name. Here it is.
Governor, let's get back to the phones and let some callers. We have Barry from D.C. is calling. Go ahead, Barry.
Well, Governor Kaine, this is actually the President of the United States calling.
No.
I have questions about traffic in Northern Virginia.
Oh.
But rather than go there, I just wanted to say how proud we are of your service as Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and just wish you and the family all the best.
Okay.
Christmas season.
And it goes on. That's AP News right there. AP Video. So it's a big joke to him to use his real name, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah, it really is. But when he does it and acknowledge it, it reinforces the words I've been using, that he's a fraud and he's a phony. You notice the Secret Service isn't coming after me because I'm talking the truth. He's a fraud, he's a phony. It's the biggest hoax in the history of our country, ladies and gentlemen. We must stop it.
Well, it gets worse. I could play video from Vermont and from Missouri where they had police go on the news and say, if you criticize Obama and say he's not a Christian or say he wasn't born here, we're going to arrest you. Did you ever see that video?
No, I heard about it, so send it to me. I'd like to see that one.
In fact, ask Aaron the headline. I think it's something like Thought Police in Missouri. But the point is, no, that was on TV. I mean, they were on TV saying, we will arrest you. So that shows the mindset. And it turned out the Obama campaign was having local Democrat police and sheriffs and prosecutors come out and threaten people. I mean, this is, look, Jerome Corsi got the documents, the emails from Obama when he was in the Senate to his cousin, Odinga, threatening and saying cause riots. So you lost the election, cause riots, and they'll give you a position in the government, and they did. What they created
not only causing riots, what they did is they caused riots. They set fire to churches with people alive. They burned down churches. They burned people alive. I mean, that's a bad point. And then Odinga became...
And Obama told them to do it.
Right. And then Obama raised $1 million for him during that time. And then by doing all that, they forced that Odinga was given a position in the government over there.
Yeah, before they just had president, what they made a prime ministership for him.
Yep.
I mean, because they were burning everything down, and Obama told him in the email, burn it. I mean, this guy's a terrorist. There's no doubt about it. Let's take another call here. David in Maine, you're on the air, David.
Yes, gentlemen, I have a comment and a question. Good job, Phil.
Thank you, David.
I will refer to our president from here on as President Soetoro, and I recommend anybody else do the same. And when people ask you, what are you, what is that all about, then explain to them everything that you've laid out. Now, my question is a constitutional crisis question. If it's found out, if we can prove that he's illegitimate, and I believe he is, then every executive order, every bill he signed, every treaty, every foreign agreement is invalid. What happens then if it's, say, 3 years into the presidency and this all comes out and he has to leave? It's no doubt about it. It's pointless to argue
everything
anymore.
he's done is bad, so that sounds great.
Yeah, David, that's why I don't want to wait 3 years. I want to get it this year. That's why I want the people to join with me when we have the announced in March, because he is a phony. Everything he has done is void or avoidable. It's really a disgrace. And we are in a constitutional crisis because, and it would take another whole show. I can't go into the whole thing about who would become president. You used to vote, and I don't know the amendment, you used to vote separate for president and vice president. You vote now jointly for them. So therefore, I don't believe Biden would become, because it was a fraudulent ticket. Does it go back to January 8th, the joint session of Congress, when Congress violated their duty because they were only going to vote for, their duty was to count the votes, electoral college votes for a qualified person. So does it go back there? Because if one member of the House, one member of the Senate had given a written objection, they would have gone to the separate House and Senate to discuss the issue, and if they didn't agree, they would have nominated whoever they wanted for president, vice president. But because they didn't do their job, does it go back to December 15th when all the electors met in the state capitals in the various states, and they voted, but improperly because they were only supposed to vote for a constitutionally qualified candidate, or does it go back to November 8th, Election Day? We have a real mess on our hands, but I believe that mess has to be dealt with more so than keeping Obama a fraud.
I hear you. We got to move quick. David, I appreciate your call. Speaking about threats, it came out in major newspapers last year that there's 25 people on Obama's hit list, and, of course, I'm number 24 on there, and it said that birther groups and yourself are also on the list, and there is no doubt that they've got an enemies list. People need to be praying for all of us.
Okay. Yes, please pray for me, everyone out there.
Absolutely, and also spread the word. So you don't know when the march is going to be yet?
Well, no, we're working on that. As soon as I have the date, I'll call you back, and we'll have it up on our website, and we'll tell you if we get on your show and spread the word. But the initial reaction response from people is phenomenal. People want to do something because it's something they can do, and every one of your listeners can identify with the birth certificate issue. One other thing, the people that Obama associated with, Ayers and the Reverend Wright and all those people, et cetera, et cetera. He couldn't even get a job as a Chicago police officer with who he dealt with. He couldn't get a job as an FBI agent or a Secret Service agent but yet the Secret Service is protecting him. I mean, think about it. It doesn't even make sense. I'm
not saying this is a good thing, but I understand why it's been done. In the old days, if you weren't 3, 4, or 5th generation, you couldn't be FBI or Secret Service because it was important that you not be a spy. Because when the Constitution was ratified, for those that don't know, they had cases of Austria sending its people, members of its government, its ruling class, and royalty, in to Poland and other countries to try to get elected and take over those nations. And so this has always been an old problem. And if this guy, I mean, his real name's barry-soetoro, how is he our president? As you say, the Indonesia thing is bona fide 100%. That right there disqualifies him. Forget the birth certificate.
Right. Yep, absolutely. And we're running an ad on that this next week in some paper, Washington Times, and we're going to be doing other ads across the country. The more money we raise, we'll spread the word. We must spread the word around the country, and we want a march on Washington like we never saw.
All right, let's talk to John in Maine. John, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi. Please tell how his collegiate records are being sealed or were sealed, his adult records. How does that operate so I can show Mom?
Well, the reason that I was the first one that came out, I believe his college records are sealed for one reason. It's going to show he applied for and received foreign aid either.
No, he's asking how were they sealed?
How were they sealed? An executive order he signed the day of that he was sworn into office.
So the first thing on his mind when he got sworn in and had that executive power was to keep his record secret.